Good afternoon, Director General Hargun Shalaka, ADCP here, ASIO National Security Director General. Today we'll be covering the Bondi terror attack and mitigating intelligence. Essentially, the ministers did the terror attack because they're hiring thousands and thousands of people to be ASIO. Burgess has never been in ASIO. Burgess is not the ASIO Director General. They're hiring the police, hiring pedophiles, hiring Hells Angels, hiring bikies, hiring persons not suitable for work to do ASIO. They're tricking people, saying they're going to be ASIO, hiring Al-Qaeda. It's all organised by ABC Home Affairs, hiring the ABC to be ASIO. They also do the talk on TV, that crazy talk on TV, where something is something else. And then they want, when there's a terror attack, they want to stop, they want to then do the work for the terror attack. They do the problem themselves and they solve it themselves. Pretend work. They want to do pretend work. So essentially it's Burgess, Chris Willis, Royal Family, Princess Catherine, Masons, SAS, ADF. They hire people to be ASIO, mitigating intelligence. They come on the LRAD, we're ASIO, you're not ASIO. They say, I'm not ASIO. They say that they're ASIO, they're with Burgess, they're with the ministers. They pretend to be ASIO. The ABC person, alternative people from the inner city, they all pretend to be ASIO. Ministers hire them to be ASIO. And then they want to do the work, so they have, amongst them, they have Al-Qaeda, they've hired Al-Qaeda, Home Affairs. And they hire them to do terrorist attacks. And this is one of the ones that we identified. And they hired, Burgess hired them. They work with Burgess. Burgess is not in ASIO, they're ABC Home Affairs. To do a terror attack. And then they blame us. They blame our ASIO. They're killing our ASIO. They're killing us. They want ASIO national security monies. They want ASIO national security budgets. Essentially, they want money, all these groups. They come on the LRAD, say they're ASIO, we're not ASIO. They pretend to be the FBI, pretend to be ASIO, pretend to be all sorts of people, mitigating intelligence, 681 as per 681, and as per 920. Then we're replaced by the Hells Angels, replaced by bikie groups, replaced by the police, by persons not suitable to do work. ASIO is a qualification. It takes about 10 years to gain the qualification. Replaced by athletes, football players, ABC pedophiles, politicians, workers, gangs, Hells Angels, and devil worshippers all replace ASIO. And then they encourage Al-Qaeda, they allow Al-Qaeda, or they form partnerships with lots of different groups to do criminal activity, from dealing drugs to blowing up shopping centres. We thought at about 52 attacks on shopping centres where they wanted to blow up the shopping centre. Castle Hill wanted to blow up the Roos Hill Town Centre. We thought of them, together with their tentacles that they have everywhere, with their connections. They provide explosives, mitigated five train terror attacks, five planned terror attacks on train stations to blow up trains in between Strathfield and Parramatta. When I was on the trains, and I'd catch a train there, and they'd put Al-Qaeda with us to blow the train up. We get them at the last moment, we go and pick them up. So we're apprehending all these people. So they mitigated 15 train attack, 15 train bombings, blowing up trains and blowing up train stations. We mitigated it, thwarted it. We thwarted it. ASIO thwarted it. We stopped them from happening. So these are hired by Burgess, hired by Home Affairs, hired by ministers, replacing ASIO into their SAFE program, putting ASIO into their homeless program, home management program, work replacement programs, and medication programs, and mental health programs. They also, all these groups do the talk on TV. You'll find these people that did the terror attack, you'll find them on TV. They put them on TV. And they'll copy what we do as well, but that's a separate issue. They talk on TV, and they do the TV talk on TV program. So what were they talking about on that when the terror attack was taking place? Which they then decode. They pretend this Chris Willis gets them to decode Home Affairs Burgess, pretending to be ASIO, to replace ASIO with their ridiculous childish programs. Absolutely ridiculous. Like a little kid, they work on the floor, like a girls' high school assignment. They then that talk. Ours is done by MI5, MI6 in the Navy, cryptology. Theirs is done by persons not suitable for work that the ministers want to get them into ASIO. They're the same people that crashed the legal system. The legal system collapsed because of these people. Now they're all in my work. They couldn't do ASIO if their life depended on it. Absolute garbage. They talk on TV. Something is something else. Then they ask me for money. They come on the LRAD asking me for money. And they're charged with national security for it, and they were charging them with the terror attacks that they do, including the train bombings that we thwarted, that ASIO thwarted, and the blowing up the shopping centres, and thwarting, and the Bondi terror attack. We're charging them all with accessory. They hired 6,978 groups to come on LRAD to be ASIO. Over.
Qui Intel FOUOUR 920 January 28, 2025 Qui Intel FOUO by Hargunitilaka Pace Groups Part 2. Q. Who does it? ASIO alleged the ministers and cops never said it was FIA or child wanking cases. They failed national security objectives. ASIO allege it's because I sent in child murder mental health aid IRS a grave case. ASIO allege politicians and legislated groups political process ASIO staying Safia is to ASIO push out and those that identified them, work replacement programs, move them to their schizophrenic program, homeless program, home management program and murder squads as per page 685 and replace them with their Chanel 9 group plus sports groups. ASIO alleged they're ever moving and swapping out national security people, LRAD moved into, work replacement programs, schizophrenic programs, homeless programs. Their above people are using Huawei Sonic Unit and Mind Reader to gather all the inside information as per 1. Cognitive vulnerabilities, cognitive technologies, disruptive technologies, Mind Reader USSSCI, link, https, YouTube Mo1JVQNF38K, key P number equals correspondent G highlighted daily intelligence brief page 00. Qui Intel FOUOUR 920 January 28, 2025 Qui Intel FOUO by Hargunitilaka page 2 of 3 ASIO alleged the politicians replaced with unqualified Hells Angels bikie gang members, pedophiles, criminals, terrorists, white power, Ku Klux Klan, Stormfront and uneducated, low IQ, persons not suitable for work. ASIO alleged the politicians replaced Australian National Security Director Hargunitilaka ADCP in 2015, 2017, 2024 and 2025 with Hells Angels Louisa Huddard and Chris Willis to steal his job, $600 million pay award, luxury Palmer Johnson yacht and steal his Hollywood role. ASIO alleged in 2004 the politiciana Oz placed white power Ku Klux Klan Stormfront moderator Robert Meagher into the police, federal, police, ASIS and ASIO. Robert Meagher murdered every homicide case. ASIO alleged from 2004 ADIRSS a grave 2025. The politicians placed white power Ku Klux Klan Stormfront members into the police, federal police, ASIS and ASIO where they murdered anyone that identified them in every case or set them up for another previous murder. ASIO alleged the politicians placed ABC as Shida, police, and Aditha, Australia, into police and ASIO to steal his job, pay award, luxury housing estates, international towers 1, 2, 3 and steal his Hollywood role. ASIO alleged Ashita, police, and Aditha, Australia, committed every homicide ADIRS's ASIO direct operations to apprehend politiciana Os for work replacement programs and homicide in every murder case ADIRS's ASIO direct operations to apprehend ministers and cops never said it was FIA or child wanking cases they failed national security. Qui Intel FOUOUR 920 January 28, 2025 Qui Intel FOUO by Hargunitilaka page 3 of 3 Hargunitilaka ADCP, Cryptology Information Warfare Director, General U.S. Military Intelligence 2017 TIA present FBI 8I Arasis Grave Federal Bureau of Investigation Director General Megaphone Sonic Weapon Worldwide 2017 TIA present Washington, District of Columbia Naval Special Warfare Command Director General of Operations Southeast Asia 2017 TIA present Coronado, California NSA, National Security Agency Director. General Southeast Asia 2018 TIA presents Central Intelligence Agency Director General Southeast Asia 2016 TIA presents Sydney, Australia SIS, MI6 Director General of Operations London, United Kingdom.